By the time you edit, polish, and publish, you've put a ton of work into your essay. After you submit it, wouldn't it be nice if you could get some more use out of it? What about those safety schools you still need to apply to? Their prompt is pretty open-ended. But before you copy and get ready to paste, pause to think about a few important considerations. It's not a question of ethics. Plagiarism only applies if you're trying to claim someone else's work as your own. We'll talk more about that in a minute. The question becomes whether or not what you've written already fits the prompt. Make sure that your essay responds specifically to the language the school uses. If your essay is too vague or general, it won't succeed. And there are a bunch of prompts out there. Just about every Common App school now requires some sort of supplement. Harry Bald points out the irony of this in his book when he says that the Common application has actually done the exact opposite of what it was intended to do. Instead of streamlining the college application process, it's actually made it more complicated. If you already have a list of schools you'll be applying to, copy and paste all the general essay and supplement prompts into a single document so you can highlight similar themes or crossover. Many supplement prompts are too specific to adapt. I can't imagine how you could use this essay from the University of Chicago's prompt anywhere else. But you can still find common themes, such as responding to a quote or expanding on an aspect of your qualifications. One supplement prompt you are likely to see more than once is the standard, "Why do you want to attend our school?" Here you might have a chance to do some tailoring that will save you from writing each of these responses from scratch. For example, if you know you want to major in education, your response could include a few standard phrases about your passion for teaching and what or who inspired you to want to pursue the major. But make sure to include a specific reference to a feature of the campus or the college's academic program for each supplement you need to write. The movie on school-specific supplements in Chapter 2 gives some suggestions on this. Avoid generic statements about a school's top-notch faculty or world-class facilities. You can still mention these aspects of the school, but you'll need to take the extra step of researching specific faculty or facilities in order to make your statement suit its audience. Then, connect that specific example to something about yourself. The word limits on personal statement supplements can vary. The standard is usually between 300 and 500 words, but some schools ask for very short responses. Refer back to the movie on cutting down an essay in Chapter 4 for tips on how to pare down a personal statement. And just a word here about plagiarism. I hope that you are already aware from your high school writing experience what a serious issue attempting to pass off someone else's work as your own is. Your high school teachers may have required you to submit your papers to Turnitin.com or another online plagiarism checking database. You should know that more than 100 colleges and universities use a similar database called Turnitin for Admissions. While this has no bearing on repurposing essays for other schools, it should make an applicant pause before being tempted to submit the essay his cousin used to get into Princeton a few years earlier. Remember, once something is on the internet, it lives forever. You should also be extremely careful about having teachers or other experienced writers make heavy-handed changes to your essay. As we talked about, our written voice is as distinctive as our spoken one. It's pretty easy for admissions officers to pick out the essays that were written by overly helpful parents or other adults. This is not to say that you shouldn't seek out help from parents, teachers, or other adults. It just means that you should take their suggestions and recommendations as just that, suggestions, and be sure to keep your own written voice intact. On a more positive note, with a little planning and creative tailoring, you should be able to save yourself some work, but be sure to give yourself enough time to do it the right way.